Hello partners, welcome to the Go Show, your daily dose of crypto using my stories for your investment. This is the 5th episode of the Go Show, the blood, sweat, and tears of Albert Go. I hope you enjoyed the last episode where we talked about the Filipino Chinese and me. We talked about the businessmen that have inspired me throughout the years and how they have shaped the economy of the Philippines. Now, the world of cryptocurrency has been very volatile over the past 2 years, with probably the biggest and most dreadful bear market that we have seen taking shape from December 2021 to today. Little did we know that the price of Bitcoin has shot up from January of this year to the price of Bitcoin just yesterday, which hit $44,000. It is probably one of the best performing risk-based assets in the world. Is it the end of the bear market? We will know in the future. I believe that we are in a transition period. This has been one of the longest, if not the longest bear market that we have seen, over 500 days. Since December 2021 to today, it's been over 2 years. And in this bear market, many people have given up. I have not given up. This has been the most dreadful bear market that we have seen. Over 2 years. If you are still watching and here listening to me, congratulations. We are on the same boat. As you can see, this year, Bitcoin has shot up. There are regulations that are being imposed in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space in the United States, in Europe, in the Middle East, and even here in the Philippines. We are seeing the Securities and Exchange Commission going after Binance. What are we going to expect in 2024? It is most likely going to be better. As we see cryptocurrency as an asset class being recognized, being regulated by our authorities, we will see greater adoption. Those who were in the early days of cryptocurrency and have invested in assets that will make it in the end will reap the benefits of being early in this space. I believe Coreum is one of the blockchains that will become one of the leading, if not the leading, blockchains for smart contracts and enterprise-grade blockchains. In 2024, it is just the beginning. Let's put it simply, in this bear market, everybody has been toiling and clawing their way to profitability. If you are not in profitability yet, congratulations, most of us are struggling. This episode, I will talk about my blood, sweat, and tears. Allow me to share my story. We have many motivations why we invest in cryptocurrency. A lot of people invest because they want to hit lottery, they want to make the most money. Some people also invest in cryptocurrency because they want to build a solution, a decentralized application, a business where they see using the blockchain technology can help them expand their operations in their business. Some people also use cryptocurrency as an expression of their talents, their creativity, whether it's in music or in arts. That is another motivation. We have many motivations why we came in early in cryptocurrency. But I believe that most of us went through struggles and pains being very early. This teaches us patience, perseverance, and for many of us, even hard work. That success does not come easy for many of us. But will we become successful in the future? We will if we don't give up. And I believe that giving up is not a strategy. Today, let's share our lessons, share our stories and experiences, why we are early in crypto. So why am I early in cryptocurrency? As you may know, the pandemic in 2020 has forced many of our businesses to shut down. And Go was one of the businesses that struggled during that time. We had an enhanced community quarantine throughout the Philippines that impacted the operations of Go. That allowed me to have time to look for other opportunities to make money. I felt that being early in cryptocurrency could actually help me be an early adopter in this new asset class. Go's focus has always been about helping the Filipino migrant workers by using our digital vouchers and giving it to the beneficiaries of the migrant workers to ensure that it goes to directed needs and it doesn't go to alcohol, gambling, and cigarettes. And I saw in 2021 that one company called Ripple had a focus on building a solution called central bank digital currencies. And I was very much interested in this business of central bank digital currencies because its use case is very much related to what Beam and Go was focusing on. The reason why I am in crypto is because I can see the future. And all I need to do is to do the hard work. This is the Go and Partners Validator. And the future, I believe, will be in Web3. Being early as a validator, I will be able to plant the seeds, build a strong base of delegators and supporters to be able to continue to achieve my mission for Go and Partners. You know that it's about ending poverty, ending violence, ending hunger, and discrimination. All these 4 focus areas, no one can deny it is a global problem. Everyone that I talk to today believes that this is the key to helping shape not just the Philippines, but in many developing countries. And I believe Web3 is the direction that I'm seeing in the monetary system. Not just the advent of CBDCs, but also blockchain solutions. This is the future. The future is about being transparent. And this technology will be able to end red tape and corruption. Let me tell you a story. As a kid, I've always been a hard worker. In school, in the university, I've always done my best. I've been a very competitive person. And I felt and I knew that the secret to my success has always been about hard work, perseverance, and never giving up. For me, everything was always about winning. Winning in school. In the university, I took the leap of faith. I ran for student council and I won. And I felt that victory was always my way to excite me. To me, it was always about winning. As a kid, my parents have always pushed me to succeed, to perform well in academics, have high grades in school. In the university, I took it another notch when I ran for student council and won as an external vice president. That time when I won, it was a proud moment for me, and it did not stop there. I always had a very big, audacious goal of wanting to give back to the university, but also help make the constituents or the students see the value of giving back. One of the projects that we had was actually helping these small communities in Pasig City, where we did surveys and backyard study on the families from these indigent communities, where we saw that a lot of the students couldn't go to school and get access to good education because their parents were already drinking as early as 12 in the afternoon. We came up with many research on how to be able to help the students. At that time, I was actually pitching to corporations for funding to help give feeding programs to these kids so that they can be healthy and go to school and finish their studies and do well. I see my life as coming from a middle-class, well-to-do family, and I saw that my story, if I compare it, I have a head start in life compared to these young kids. How do we actually help them? And who is responsible for giving them that equal access to be successful in life? That story about the feeding program is an example about giving access to proper nutrition. I believe is a necessary requirement for many people to be able to study well and perform better in school. And I felt that they were disadvantaged, and that in the university, we were able to pitch to corporations to support these feeding programs to help these small communities in Pasig City. And that actually not just helped the students in the public school to perform well in school, but later on I was able to see that being able to rally the troops and to inspire university students to support this cause had a ripple effect because it was helping them become more socially aware and to become active in the university. Had I not pushed for this program, many wouldn't even care. They would remain apathetic. And I felt that that was one of those winning moments that I had in the university days. It required a lot of hard work and perseverance on my end to be able to communicate this message and tell the other students in the university to also care about their fellow, less fortunate brothers and sisters. Being socially conscious, I realized, requires hard work. It's easy to be apathetic. It's easy not to care about the world and just let everyone suffer. But I felt that it was innate in me to be able to take charge and lead, to fulfill and execute projects, even as a university student. And that is the cross that I had to bear. In this mission of Go and Partners, I know in order for this to be successful, I will need to work hard for it. As you may know, in previous episodes, I talked about my stint as an overseas Filipino worker in Singapore, where I spent 4.5 years working for a nonprofit organization helping children and youth. When I came back to the Philippines, I was always go, go, go. Just like the Go Show, for the first 6 years of Beam and Go, we were really on a roll. We were getting thousands upon thousands of customers year after year. I had to fly from one city and one country to another to expand our influence, whether it is about increasing our number of merchants, of supermarkets and pharmacies throughout the Philippines. I had to fly even in rebel areas in General Santos City, in the outskirts in Zamboanga, looking for these supermarkets so that we can cater to the needs of these overseas Filipinos who are working even in the Middle East. And this energy, I kept going and going. I had to travel even in different places, whether it's pitching in competitions in San Francisco and Singapore. We were winning, we were on a roll. But everything came to a screeching halt in 2020. During the pandemic, in March of 2020, it's like my world stopped. And I asked myself, what is this that we are dealing with? A pandemic that has caused every business, almost every business, to shut down. Operations had to come to a halt. Even our office in Beam and Go, we had to temporarily close the physical office and make everybody work remotely. I have a confession to make. Like all of us, I also became lazy. The pandemic caused me to take a step back, scan the environment, understand what my purpose is. Am I going to be successful, or do I need to pivot and look at other opportunities for me to succeed? This is where I found the world of cryptocurrency. During the pandemic, all of us had to go through serious lockdowns. We couldn't move from one city to another. Many of our customers struggled while they were stranded in different parts of the world. We had seafarers that lost their jobs. Our customers also had to come back and were jobless at that time. In 2020, while I was slowing down and trying to mull over the landscape of business, at that time, I was starting to see a couple of trends. One of it is the emergence of the e-commerce. Many of the Filipinos started placing orders using these popular e-commerce platforms such as Lazada and Shopee. Added to the fact that many of them, prior to 2020, did not have a mobile wallet. The Philippines was known as a cash society. Everybody was using cash before. But during the pandemic, people started using GCash, Paymaya, and started using digital wallets, even for delivery of groceries, fast food, restaurants. Everything started to become digital. And I saw this as a trend. And even in Beam and Go, we started partnering with digital wallets and these fintech companies to make it another option for them for payment. And in looking at these digital trends that took shape during the pandemic, I also stumbled upon the world of cryptocurrencies. And in this world, I saw that, hey, the society that we're in is starting to become more cashless, more digital. And I'm seeing that many people were making so much money in cryptocurrency. 2020, 2021, the emergence of these meme coins where stories would be published in news media of people spending a few $1,000s, turning up and become instant millionaires. And I became lazy at that time. And I also wanted to become rich like everybody else. That's when I started to invest in these meme coins. And one of those meme coins that I invested in is called Doge. And within a period of 3 weeks, I invested $600. And within 2-3 weeks, it went up to $20,000. Wow! I said at that time, how could that be? That a pet project could actually make me decently rich. So I asked myself the question that the time that I was lazy was the time I actually made money. So are we to judge the lazy people? That even lazy people can make more money than the old me, the hardworking Albert. I was working so hard until my mid-30s. I never made that money that quickly. But by investing in a dog project, it gave me over $20,000 within a period of less than 3 weeks. How is that possible? I'm in disbelief. So now when I look at people that I judged before as lazy, some of them actually have made more money than me. that is where the tears came from. Right in the middle of the pandemic, when I was losing so much hope, I thought that there is only one formula for success, and that is hard work. Then I realized that there is no one formula for success, that being lazy can actually make you successful. My main takeaway here is that I need to work hard first in order to afford to become lazy. It's one thing to be able to be inspired. You see stories about unsuspecting people making millions of dollars in early investment opportunities. It's another thing to be able to act upon that inspiration. For me, I took that leap of faith by investing in cryptocurrency. Some of them are just meme coins that made me money at that time. But what I did was I actually tried it and seized that moment. And I believe it's about seizing that moment. When there's an opportunity presented, always take advantage of that opportunity. You will never know until you try it. The same thing for me, if it's about business, when an opportunity presents itself, I started it. Beam and Go, we started have a big audacious goal of helping Filipinos overseas. We doubled down on it. We tried to expand the e-commerce platform. I expanded the operations and continued to let it grow. All the way to the point that we had over 22 employees in Beam and Go. When I saw an opportunity in crypto, the same thing. I had that maniacal spirit in me that I want to also be as successful as this person who made millions in Dogecoin. I also put some money there, and as I said, I made money out of it. But that did not end there. I started to go down that rabbit hole, and I started researching every day about these opportunities that would come. And as I can see that while we can say that they are lazy because they only made money out of crypto, but you can also see it the other way, that they are also hardworking because they were researching, they were joining Telegram groups, they were creating Twitter accounts, they were joining Discord groups, trying to see what is the next big thing in cryptocurrency. Is that a work of a lazy person, or does that require a lot of hard work? I believe it is the latter. These people do not just make money out of nothing. They made money because they acted upon inspiration. They saw another person who made money, and that's how they continued their journey in cryptocurrency. Let me stress the fact that failure is far better than inaction. So there are 4 lessons that I learned. First, social good requires hard work. Second, there's not one formula, and laziness is also a major factor. Third, but in order for me to be lazy, I need to work hard first. And fourth, inaction is far worse than failure. This allowed me to see the billionaires in a different light. Many of them I see, they have so much control over their time, their freedom. But for them to have reached that point, most of them have stories of hard work where they started from below all the way to where they are now, where they can afford to delegate the work, to give it to people, and for them to focus on areas where they are good at. These billionaires have countless stories of how they started from the bottom. One example is Michael Bloomberg. He was just a parking attendant before. He came from humble beginnings, from a middle-class family. Then he started to work in the trading floor in a company called Solomon. And now look at him. He has expanded operations to make Bloomberg one of the most successful companies around the world. When it comes to trading, when it comes to finance news, when it comes to the trading platform that is being used, it is synonymous to Bloomberg. And that name came from a young person who was just working as a parking attendant, Michael Bloomberg. And right now, he sees the lessons. And his story is one that I look up to myself as an inspiration. And the reason why I can relate to Michael Bloomberg is his focus on social impact and his Bloomberg philanthropies. Michael Bloomberg has focused not just in his business, where he became successful with the publication of Bloomberg, but he actually became a mayor in New York City, was able to stamp out criminality in New York, but he was also able to create his foundation helping climate change, social impact initiatives, helping disaster relief efforts. As you may know, I am from the Philippines, and in the Philippines, we are always hit by typhoons, hurricanes, volcanic eruptions, and earthquakes. Earthquakes almost hit our country almost every day. And the support that is given towards these emergency situations is one that tugs my heart when I see billionaires supporting these communities that have been hit hardest because of climate change. And the reason why I can relate with Michael Bloomberg is that he was not just a successful businessman, but he also started his Bloomberg philanthropies. He became a mayor, he stamped out corruption and criminality in New York City, but then now he is helping in efforts such as disaster relief in the United States and all over the world. And going to the second and third lesson, which is about not having one formula for success and laziness being one factor that also is related to hard work. And the perfect example is the Winklevoss brothers. They were known to be one of the earliest investors of Facebook, but not many people know that they were also very, very early in Bitcoin. They made hundreds of millions of dollars just by being very early in Bitcoin in the early 2010s. And right now, they own Genesis, a centralized cryptocurrency exchange. And you can see them as people who were lucky how they made so much money. But if you see it, they had vision. And it also requires hard work for them to be able to scan and invest in companies early while others were being distracted. Lastly, it's about spotting gems in the future. Projects, blockchains, investment stocks that will make it big. Just like how we saw Winklevoss brothers seeing the future and taking advantage, seizing the moment, I see Coreum as an emerging technology that will become one of the leading blockchains in the future. It is a layer 1, third generation blockchain using COSM-WASM WebAssembly for smart contracts. It is going to interconnect all the leading blockchains from Ethereum, Solana, XRPL, Cardano, Algorand, and all the other blockchains interconnecting with Coreum. It is fast, if not one of the most efficient blockchains. Emerging technologies in the future. I believe this blockchain will be able to be adopted by major enterprises in 2024 and beyond, starting with use cases such as tokenization of the stock market, commodities, precious metals, and even properties. The next use case is for governments to be able to do the recording of our information in a more succinct and seamless way. We also want to see the emergence of central bank digital currencies. This will be a game changer in 2024 and beyond. And just like how I was able to explain how during the pandemic, we started to use e-commerce, digital wallets. In 2024 and beyond, I see Coreum to be one of the leading blockchains for tokenization and CBDCs. If you also see the future with me through the Go and Partners Validator, the Coreum blockchain for enterprises and governments, remember the fourth lesson: inaction is far worse than failure. And that concludes our 5th episode. Now I'm excited to bring you to our 6th episode entitled Let's Go to the Future.